Do you have a mini split that doesn't turn on at the right temperature, or you set it to, for example, 76 and it doesn't cool, or you set it to 68 and it doesn't heat? Well, I'm going to tell you how to fix all that. The problem with mini splits is that the temperature sensor for the mini split is actually on top of the unit right there. And so you may want to actually cool your house like right there, but this thing is sensing the temperature right here, which is a little silly. So what you have to do is you have to program a temperature offset for both heat and cool, and you're gonna have to play with this a little bit. So then after that, when you set up your temperature with your remote control, the unit's gonna compensate for what it thinks it's seeing, but then you'll get the effect, for example, over there. So that's what we're gonna do in this quick video, and I'm gonna show you how right now. So the first thing you need is not the user manual, but you need the installation manual for your Fujitsu mini split. And I'm sure Mitsubishi has something similar to this, but we have a Fujitsu mini split. You of course need your remote control, and so let's get started. The trick here is we want to actually use this thing called the function setting to program this temperature correction piece, which in my manual is on page 10. And what I'm looking for are function numbers 30 and 31. 30 is for cooling, 31 is for heating. And what we want to do is enter these codes into our remote control, then fire this remote control at the mini split so it takes the new setting. And then we want to power off the mini split, completely power it off for 30 seconds so that the settings actually take. So let's go through that. First thing we want to do is enter the function setting mode. So on my remote control, which happens to be an AR-RAH2U remote for the Fujitsu mini split, we need to press the fan and set temp button and then simultaneously press the reset button. What they don't tell you, which I found out the hard way, was you have to then release the reset button first, and that'll enter you into the right mode. So let's do that. So fan, set temp upper button, and then press the reset button, and then release the reset button, and you'll see now that this thing has changed into this mode called A. There's apparently some units that require you to potentially change some custom mode or whatever, but I don't know. That doesn't seem to be applicable here, so I'm just going to click the mode button, go here, click the mode button, and now you can see it's ready to take a code. So what I want to do in my case, because I figured out that when I set my mini split to 76 degrees, it actually doesn't cool. So I want to actually make it do more cooling and less heating. I wanted to do that actually only by about 2 degrees or 3 degrees. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select function code 30, and then I'm going to enter code. Let's say 04. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do here is go back here, and it says that you gotta press the set depth buttons to select the function number and press the mode. So remember, what I want is 30. So I'm going to press the mode to switch, and then, so let's do that, press the mode. So now I'm here, and then it says set temp to select the function number. So I'm gonna 1, 2, 3. So I wanted function 30, remember. And then it says press the fan button to proceed to setting the value. So now I'm going to press the fan button, and you can see that now it's down here. That's the actual value. So what I'm going to do here is see that for function 30, I wanted value number 4. So this thing will cool by 3 degrees more. So let me do that real quick. You can use the set temp button, 3, let's say 4, and then now it says when I'm ready, I need to press the timer mode button while pointing it at the unit. So here's my timer mode button. I'm gonna go point this at the back of the unit, point it at the sensor, timer mode button. You heard the beep. So now we know that the settings have taken, and now I'm gonna go reset the remote control and turn off the power. So we just finished this step. Press the timer mode button, pointed it at the unit. I made those notes. Press the reset button to cancel the function setting mode. So go here, press reset. Unfortunately, what this does is it actually resets the clock on the unit, which sucks. So I'm gonna have to reprogram that. But now I should be ready to turn down the power. It says, be sure to disconnect the power supply and then reconnect it. So I'm gonna go to my circuit breaker, turn this thing off, wait for 30 seconds, come back, and then my unit should take the function setting for function number 30. And all right, so it's been 30 seconds. I killed the AC breaker, and now I'm gonna go kick it back on, which should take the settings. So now let's go inside, reprogram the remote to the right time, and we should be off for the reset. Right, so hit the clock adjust button on the remote because it was messed up after I did the reset. And now I'm just, as you can see, adjusting the clock. Oops, went too far, come back. All right, it's now actually 11:51 over here. So I'm gonna do that. And then I'm gonna go hit the clock adjust again. And so today is actually a beautiful day in California, and I am going to set this thing to run at 72. It's actually perfect right now in my house. I don't need to really run the mini split, but I wanted to make this video real quick. So I'm gonna set it to, let's say, 70, and let's see if it turns on. Doing a lot of research, I found that what works most effectively is to actually switch the fan to medium and just leave it there. And as for mode, in the winter, run it on hot, and in the summer, run it on cool. So that's really what you want for summer, and then for winter, you want this, really. You want heat. And remember, you have to point the mini split, the remote, at that sensor, or it's just not going to work. So this has been helpful. This is a video about doing function settings on a Fujitsu mini split system. And I want to also point out there are some other cool functions here. Like, for example, what I heard, or what I've researched, is a potentially interesting one is function number 95, where if your mini split is overcycling, turns on and off too much, and you want to keep it running for longer so it heats or cools faster, then you can set function number 95 to high insulation, and that might help you out. Let's go back and see if this thing has started. Okay, so I definitely feel cool air, and I've set it to 70, and so that appears to be a successful setting of the function settings. Hope this has been helpful. Thanks.